your new Toyota Starlet Cross. Own it.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiski Times, the CEO does today. It is Magesi 0, Orlando Pirates 1 in the Betway Premiership on the last game for Orlando Pirates and Magesi this year. It means Orlando Pirates will finish the year in second place, 3 points short of Sundowns, although they do have one game in hand. Sometimes you're asked a question that's very difficult, and sometimes it's a character-building question. Today, Orlando Pirates got a huge advantage. Magesi got a red card. Orlando Pirates scored a goal. We would have thought that perhaps then they would take it away. However, on the balance of play, I'm sure Orlando Pirates fans will know that, and they will admit that that was not a good enough performance against 10 men. Was it the old Peter Mokaba Stadium? Was it the pitch? Was it the narrowness of the pitch? Was it the state of readiness of players such as Tito Maswanganyi? We shall find out. Who knows? But it was a poor performance. Well done to Magesi as well for holding up. It could have been worse considering that Orlando Pirates won 8-1 a few days prior to this moment. Lindo, Pep, what did you make of the game, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yes,
we're going for another game. So in the next video, but I hope I'm a grand.
Sure.
Yeah, congratulations to the players. Congratulations to Orlando Pirates, obviously, with the technical team. For me, when I look at Orlando Pirates and when I think about them, I think of there's two things in this game. It's naive and very casual. Lucky enough, they won the game. Last season, you watch Orlando Pirates, they used to drop points out of these games. This is the very same Orlando Pirates, and for me, if they continue to have these casual performances, more especially in the second half, they will never win the league. You are playing with a number 9 that hardly scores. You are playing with a number 9 who doesn't have a very good first touch, a link up game, which limits. That means badlalanga 3 centre backs. In my case, they're playing with 3 centre backs. Orlando Pirates was playing a 10v11 game. Even in the second half, I think that was an incredible decision from Jorge Rivero. I think he realized that badlala -1 with Umakhopa. For me, I've said this the whole season. Orlando Pirates needs a general in midfield. But in Jaga one is Odlalapaya. Umuntu ipoza, umuntu who can bulldoze, umuntu who control the tempo of a game, umuntu who dictate the game, somebody who never loses the ball, 100% pass completion, takes shots outside the box, joins when the team attacks, defends when the team attacks. We've spoken about that player. He's there in the Betway Premiership. He's not too far. For me, I want to speak about the player they introduced in the second half, which is Gilberto. Orlando Pirates, the last time they brought in incredible football players like Abo Okonko when they went to Africa. They brought Abo Isaac Chance, Abo Piri Maputa,
Sure.
Incredible football players that raised the standards of Orlando Pirates and some South African football players. For me, I don't want to call him a scam, but for me, he's not an Orlando Pirates material. First of all, what kind of a winger is he? I don't see a 1v1 dribble. I don't see a cross. I don't see him making a run behind the defense. So for me, I do not understand. And for me, the signing of Apolis is living proof that they made a huge blunder. It's a 10 million rand blunder which they made, which is for me, it's questionable to the management. They were supposed to do a proper assessment, but not just to the management alone, because they make the final decision. But I'm criticizing the analysts who are responsible for analyzing him. When you scout him, scouting network as well. We spoke about scouting. Scouting is not watching a player. You need to watching the player from a video. You need to go and watch him personally. I don't think Orlando Pirates went on to go and watch Gilberto.
I think Gilberto was here against the Sundowns.
Yeah.
I think to be fair on Pirates, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not good enough for Pirates. Pirates are not going to win the league because of him. Pirates might still win the league, but not because of Gilberto. Yeah. He's not good enough. I think that this is not confusing, but this is a complicated part. Yeah. You see, for example, Apolis, everyone now knows that he's a good player, right? We agree. Adams is a good player. Let's say that they join Pirates or Sundowns, right? And then they don't play, and then they're not good enough. You can't really blame scouting in that instance. You still need to scout more. You still need to do more with your scouting and your analysis and your observation of a player. But if he's good enough at Polokwane City or Stellenbosch, winning cups, Jaden Adams is playing in Africa now, Confed Cup, and then he does as Dumi with Pirates. It's like sometimes those two things do happen, and sometimes obviously they do take shortcuts and not.
But not a 10 million, not a 10 million rand mistake.
Remember that in Angola, 10 million is $500,000 for example. So it's not exactly 10. It is 10 million in our currency, but they charged him maybe $400,000. So I saw him against your Sundowns. I saw him against Cape Town City. They knocked out Cape Town City a few years ago in the Champions League. They went as far, I think, as the semi-final.
Yeah, in the semi-final.
They went as far as the
quarter-final,
semi-final.
I think.
And also even AFL as well. They were doing well. So I won't really blame much Orlando Pirates, but I do take your point. It is not good enough for a Pirates.
For me, this, I think, Nkulego, the signing of Apolis, because I do believe that it's a done deal. The signing of our police is a reason why they actually realized that they needed another winger. We spoke about it that Unkota is a boy that's going to give you inconsistent performances.
Still learning
For
his
me,
trade.
he's learning his trade. For me, the boy is going to be an incredible winger. Is he a special winger? In my opinion, I still need to see more. I think he's 19 if I'm not mistaken. He's not the profile guy really. He's more of a direct winger that wants to run in behind. He plays with a lot of pace, with a lot of energy. He likes a dribble, more especially 1v1. That's something that I like, which is something that we need to see more. He hardly passes in a 1v1 situation. He would want to take you on. Incredible performance from Musesan and Osbisi Nkulego. The fact that we don't mention Unda, we always say this: incredible, clean, zero mistakes. For me, as a centre back, for me, if you have a clean game, for me, we don't see you much in terms of it defending, in terms of on the ball. For me, they hardly make mistakes, Nabosesana, even though in that chance,
The penalty moment as well came from him, but I do think he had a decent performance. We don't even have time because there's another game playing now as well. I do want to ask you about Lebohile Mofokeng.
Okay.
He won the game today, and also I want to find out what's your feeling about the Orlando Pirates in terms of playing against 10 men for 50 or 60 minutes. Were they good enough in your opinion?
Let's speak about really raw talent, spacing, very good, dribbling wizard, ball composure, finds space, scores goals. Nkulego, maybe a coaching moment from the boy, incredible finish from the boy, Shaini Vala, Nkunze Vala. But the coaching moment for me, in my opinion, he receives the ball with his left foot in a very tight situation. Lapayana Itzida will close angayo the way I look receive angayo in a strong foot sack. In my opinion, the situations where the boy can receive with his left, more especially diagonal ball, where he can take a touch with his left and get a body in a volley ball. Those are little things that don't over value some of the good things that he does.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, he's an exceptional player. He's the best player. Is the best South African player in the league. Incredible football player. I think he brings the Orlando Pirates. He's one of the reasons. Him, Notito Maswangai. Those two players, maybe and a couple, Lusipo China, very important. Those are the players in Kolego that bring Orlando Pirates closer for them to compete for the league.
Yeah.
But with regards to the other question again,
60 minutes with 10 men down. Were you impressed with how we were talking Sundowns yesterday? Sundowns were not good.
Yeah.
We made it very clear. So I was saying it's disappointing. I don't care if it's 2-0. It's disappointing because that's the game that we saw. Football is not about the other one is got 2 and the other one has got 0 and then it was perfect.
Yeah.
We saw here, some people who didn't watch the game might feel my club won, but there's something to be said about that performance, especially against 10 men.
Nkulego, casual, in my opinion, a very casual performance. This is the reason why we all say they are not ready to win the league. For me, championship teams, they don't become casual and they don't become naive, more especially in the second half in a 1-0 situation. They considered a penalty, they were lucky, they were makubu, but for me, they were very casual, very naive. I think they could have kept the ball a little bit better. I understand the pitch as well. You need to count that. For me, the pitch looked a little bit hard, but for me, in terms of their performance, was very casual, very naive. They don't look like a championship team. They're going to win a couple of games, in my opinion. They end as second
This year. At the end of the year, they are number 2.
They are number 2, which is good for them. They are close at 3 points away from Maurice Sundowns. But for me, in my opinion, a very casual performance from them. And credit to Magesi. I think Coach Papi Zotwane played incredibly well.
Right.
In the first half, Nkulego, they looked very defensive. It seemed like they're going to play a mid-low block. But in the second half, if you check Nkulego, they were very brave. I think a red card gave them the motivation to want to play. I think also creating those opportunities that they created gave them the confidence that they can actually get something out of the game. In my opinion, it did look like a draw. The game deserved a draw, in my opinion.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much. I need to cut you. Thank you so much. We have run out of time. As Magesi, then you get nothing from losing a football game. But as coaches, we're not dying tomorrow. If you have decent performances from your team, even when they lose, you know that you have something to work on. Hopefully, Coach Owen Dagama was on the stands. He can use the positives from today because they didn't look like they were 10 men down, but you get nothing from losing, although performances are more important than results in the long run. It is good TV, it is good times, we're sports betting.